Thank you. I'm very proud to be the Labor candidate for the seat of North Sydney. Fantastic to be here at North Sydney Oval. I'm a local. I went to school down the road there, and in the opposite direction up the road, my husband and I raised our 3 children. I've always thought how lucky we are to live here with access to the best health and educational facilities in the country, surrounded by amazing bushland and waterways. Unfortunately, since 2013, the election of Tony Abbott, through to 2019, the election of Scott Morrison, I felt a sense of shame and despair. I haven't felt that we're the country of courage that will stare a problem like climate change in the face and think we can turn this to our advantage and use it to build a better future. I haven't felt that we're a country whose leaders are upright and honourable and act with integrity. I haven't felt like we're a country that demonstrates compassion, that looks at the suffering of fellow Australians and says, not good enough, we're not going to tolerate that. So all that has to change, and that's why I'm running for the Labor Party in the seat of North Sydney. I've never run for office before. I'm a lawyer, I'm a professor of human rights law, I'm a mother, I'm a proud local in North Sydney. I joined the Labor Party 25 years ago because I believe in the principles of equality and fairness and a fair go. And since I started this campaign in January, I've been hearing from the people of North Sydney that they are, in fact, ready for change and that Labor can be a part of that.
Trent.
Well, Laura and Kylie and Catherine, it's wonderful to be here this afternoon. And I wanted to start by acknowledging the traditional owners of the land upon which we're meeting, the Cammeraygal people. I've been a resident of our area for over 2 decades, and during that time I've been actively involved in our local community, deeply involved well before I became a candidate for federal parliament. And that's allowed me to represent the views and the aspirations of North Sydney within the parliament and within the government. And it's also allowed me to deliver for our community, to provide increased funding for our wonderful local schools and hospitals, to support upgrades to our harbour foreshores in places like Neutral Bay at Sub-Base Platypus and at the Woolwich Dock, and to provide investments to major local projects like the upgrade, the rebuild of the Lane Cove pool. Australia faces many challenges and opportunities over the parliamentary term ahead. We have an economy that's recovering from the worst shock that most of us will have seen in our own lifetimes. We have a world where democratic values are increasingly under challenge. And we have the job of managing our transitions to a net zero economy. I want to be part of a strong and stable team that continues to work on these issues to deliver for all Australians as well as the people of North Sydney.
Kylie.
Hi, my name's Kylie Tink and I'm running as the independent for the federal seat of North Sydney in the upcoming election. I'd also like to start today by acknowledging the traditional custodians of the land on which we meet, the Cammeraygal, and pay my respects to their elders past, present and future. The reality is politics wasn't a profession I saw myself entering, yet having watched the progress of our country over the last 3 years, when I was approached by a community group to see whether I would consider running as the independent, it didn't take me very long to believe that this was absolutely the thing I need to be doing. Why? Because I fundamentally believe that the 2-party system is broken. It is gridlocked. For 10 years, we have had very little legislative reform, and instead we have 2 parties who seem to be unable to collaborate and work together to bring our country to a better place. Never before have we needed strong, independent voices sitting in the crossbench to actually invite the 2 parties back into the parliamentary chamber to actually have a discussion and do the job that, as members of parliament, we're sent to do, which is to represent your community, not a party. It's time that the people's voice was brought back into politics, and I believe, and I've heard consistently from the people of North Sydney, they want their true voice to be heard in the House of Reps. And not only that, they want their vote to count towards the things that are important to them, and that is faster action on climate, the establishment of a Federal Integrity Commission, the re-gearing of our economy so that it is forward-focused rather than relying on old technology, and to subsequently and systemically address inequalities that we have in our system. That's why North Sydney is looking to send an independent voice to Canberra this time, because it's time that we brought true representation back into the House of Representatives.